The reason why I am able to maintain peace in my life and manifest ease in my life and manifest abundance and prosperity in my life is because at my core, I know that everything is always working out for me. My entire life, and yours too, if you take inventory, has proven to me that everything is always working out for me, right? Um, I remember when I first heard about this, like everything is always working out for me. And it was Abraham Hicks, which I've mentioned it before, but I follow Abraham Hicks pretty heavy. And they are one of the first spiritual teachers that I came across when I began awakening in my spiritual journey. And I listen to them because they have these rampages. And if you are familiar, you already know like they have the rampages. And one of the rampages is like everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. And if everything's it's always working out for me, here are the things that are working out for me. And it's the very little things that we take for granted, right? The fact that I have a roof over my head, clothes on my back, shoes on my feet, I have a computer, I have a phone, I got money in the bank, I got clothes that I like, I'm traveling, I'm doing something that I love to do, I'm speaking to you all, doing something that I love to do. But it's the small but very big things, the roads, the fact that we have ways to get around the world, the cars, the bikes, the planes, the scooters, the whatever you use to get around, like your two legs, whatever it is. These are the things that are working out for me. But even to take it further, when it looks like something isn't working out for me, right? So, say for example, I recently had a very chaotic experience here in Medellin, Colombia with my Airbnb host, right? If you're interested in that video, I will make sure that I put it here. However, even though that was a very chaotic and stressful experience, and it pretty much practically had ruined my whole experience in Medellin, Colombia, there's still a part of it that's working for me, whether it be for a lesson, whether it be for my growth, whether it is for my, added resilience, right? Because when you are doing something that is different, right? Like when you are in foreign land and when you're doing something different, you are building this character. Like you're in the character building phase because the way that you've always known how to do things is not the way that different cultures do things. And so when you decide that you're going to be a traveler or you decide that you're going to be an immigrant or whatever the situation, like you are learning how to humble yourself because you are learning the culture. And so for me, I'm just like, okay, it doesn't matter how things look to me on the surface. I know that everything is always working out for me. And I used to think, like, am I using that phrase or that mantra to kind of like spiritually bypass or just to bypass like my emotions or just to bypass bypass or minimize my experiences? And I said no. And no, it's not, because while I'm saying everything is always working out for me, 9 times out of 10, I am feeling deep frustration, deep emotions. I am going through it. I'm acknowledging both parts of the equation where it's like, man, this is really messed up. This is a really crazy experience. I don't deserve this. However, everything is always working out for me because I am a good person. But even if, right? Like, because even if people who are not good, everything is working out for them too. Everything is always working out for everybody for whatever mission or purpose that we have for our evolution, our expansion, and our growth. For the people that have experienced a loss. So say for example, you've lost a child, right? Like that's a very painful, traumatic experience, losing a child. That experience that you're having from losing a child is needed for your expansion and your growth. And it may sound crazy, right? Like the things that we experience, all the trauma that I experienced as a child was needed for this moment, right? It was needed for to get me to the moment where I knew that I can be this person for other people. And so I always talk, well, I won't say always, but I talk a lot about purpose. I talk a lot about, identity transformation. Oh, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm still learning how to do this, y'all, but I am Marquita. I am a spiritual coach. I'm an author, and I'm also the host of the Alchemy Soul podcast. On this channel, I am talking all about reinvention, healing, as well as purpose and how to, remember who you are before they told you who you had to be. That's my purpose for this whole channel. I'm currently on a 365-day long form content challenge. So I will be back here every single day. If you're interested, please subscribe. However, I'm still new at this, right? So the reason why I like interjected and was like, let me talk about it is because I do believe that everybody has a purpose. Now, I don't believe that everybody's purpose is fulfilled and acted upon when they are here, right? I have a belief that if you don't, work in your purpose, or if you don't do your purpose, then you're gonna, come back in another lifetime and you are going to keep getting the same lessons until you can learn to step up to the plate and step into your power and do your purpose. And so with that being said, like I have a tendency to just see the bigger picture, right? Like I'm a person that's like big picture. I see things from a larger perspective. And because I'm able to see things from a larger perspective, it allows me to give other people a lot of grace. And it also allows me to give myself grace, right? Not as much as I would like to. I would like to learn how to give myself a little bit more grace because I feel like I do know so much and I am aware of so much that I don't give myself enough grace. However, I see things from a larger perspective. And that's how I can confidently say to anybody and everybody, like, no matter what the situation or the circumstances may be, no matter how painful the journey may be, no matter how like disruptive to life, whatever experience you're going through is, you're probably asking like, God, why am I going through this? What is going on? I can't catch a break. Those like some things that people say, like, I can't catch a break. It's always something. It's always something. You know, First of all, probably should stop saying that because that is just affirming, you know. But it's affirming, right? And so the reason why I go back to everything is always working out for me is because I would much rather affirm to myself the knowing that it is working in my favor than the knowing of it's always something, right? So there's power in words, there's power in how you react to things, there's power in the energy that you give to things, but it's real power in words, right? You have to be very intentional about the things that you are speaking over your life. And so I hear that very often. Like if it ain't one thing, it's another, or um if it ain't one thing, it's another. Everything is always crazy or chaotic or whatever. Like people just say things about their life experience, but it's because that's what life has presented to them. But in order to change, in order for things to start working in a way that is working for you instead of working against you, you have to change your mindset and how you see it. And so I rest on everything is always working out for me because I want my life to reflect that everything is working out for me. And it is, right? Like it is. But for everybody, right? Like it's working out for everybody. Even the person that feels like everything is chaotic, even the person that feels like if it's not one thing, it's another. The things that are stacked against whatever resistance, it is for evolution and growth. But sometimes, a lot of times, we keep getting the same lessons time after time after time because our ego is so much in the way to the fact of not catching the lesson and growing out of it and doing something differently. I feel like it's very easy to continue a cycle, right? Like that's how things and traumas and generational things are passed down from generation to generation is because somebody missed the mark in the healing, right? Somebody missed the mark in what they were supposed to do in order to make sure the next generation didn't do the same thing. And so it's the same thing with your individual life. Like if you don't get the lesson will keep repeating until you get it. One of the, most recent lessons that I got was with this speaking. I have been fired from 4 jobs. And a lot of the time, like in between, I was like, why am I going through so much? Why is this so chaotic? And I had those kinds of feelings of like being stressed and depressed and penny pinching and being like really tight with funds and everything. And so during those periods of time, of course, I'm still saying everything is always working out for me. Everything is always working out for me. And it did, and it does, right? But the lesson that I kept missing, that kept being presented to me, was just to use my voice, was just to use my experiences, was to not overcomplicate it, to not over perfect it, to not wait until life and experiences are perfect in order to start speaking. But it took me years. It probably took me about 3 or 4 years before I really was like, oh, because because for the life of me, this last position, I could not understand why I was fired within 2 weeks of the like getting the position and I didn't do anything. So I say that to say like you at some point are going to have to get the lesson unless you're going to keep getting dragged through the mud. But also just the power in the words that you speak over your life. If you start affirming that everything is always working out for you, maybe you that will start working out for you. Like you'll start being more aware of the lessons of the things that you are supposed to move through and let go in order to grow and evolve. And that clears space and it clears a way for things to kind of not continue to be chaotic and disruptive. And so that's all I have for you all today. If you're interested, please be sure to subscribe. I will be back here every single day. Okay, I am not giving up. I am going to stay consistent. I have been going through it. I've been going through it here in Colombia, ready to go. But I am Marquita. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. If you resonated with anything that I spoke about today, please be sure to leave it in the comments. And I will see you all back here tomorrow. Peace, love, and light, beautiful souls.